If you are a warlord in need of a new set of wheels, then do I have the car for you. Right behind me is the brand new, all-electric Mercedes G580. Yep, that is an electric G-Wagen. But first, we must talk price and range, and both of those are going to surprise you. That machine behind me starts at $231,000, and for that, you only get 450 Ks on a charge. So you might be thinking, well, what's the point? Well, wait till we go for a drive. Honestly, this thing has more party tricks than a drunk magician. And we are off, and already there's going to be a lot of you right now that no matter what I say about this car, you've already made your mind up. You hate it, maybe because of its price or its size or its propulsion system. Maybe you don't like electric cars. So for those of you right now who are in that camp, doesn't matter what I say because all you hear when I speak is But if you're maybe open to electric vehicles, or perhaps you just want to know if this has the same sort of gravitas as the combustion versions, well, this video will be a treat for you because in the next few minutes, we're going to find out together. On that note, let's talk tech specs. What makes this thing move? And it has no fewer than 4 electric motors. Like some cars have 2 motors, the high performance versions of EVs. Some, like the Tesla Cybertruck, have 3 electric motors. This one has 4, 1 at each wheel, and each motor has a reduction gearbox as well to give it more torque, great for off-roading. The thing is though, it's got more than just 432 kilowatts of power. It's got a lot of torque. More torque than Parliament in session. This thing has more than 1160 Newton meters of energy. 1 meganewton, is a meganewton meter a metric? Is that a measurement? That's a lot of talking Isaacs. That means that this thing will do 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds. That's not bad when you consider how heavy this thing is. It has a 116 kilowatt hour battery pack. Makes it weigh more than 3 tons. This car I'm driving right now is 3,085 kilograms. It's madness. Right now, it's blowing a gale. We've got a weather bomb that's hitting at the time of recording this. And you'd think if this was a van, this would be sailing all over the road like KZ7. But no, it's not moving at all. It's because despite the fact that it is, box shaped, it's not being pushed around by the wind because it just weighs more than me after 4 breakfasts. The downside to its weight and its shape is that it's not the most aerodynamic vehicle Mercedes has ever built. Let's not beat around the bush. It is a bit of a brick. So the range in this, the WLTP range is 450 kilometers, which is not bad considering its weight and size. But for 2025, 450 Ks, it's a bit, what's the technical term? Meh. I'm gonna start a range test very, very soon. Stay tuned. Right now in Auckland Central, it just glides. It is so placid and docile, and not only does it have adjustable dampers on its suspension system, but it's also really well padded. It's a very, very noise-proofed vehicle, which is not a lot of wind noise despite the fact it's howling out there. But if I were to use the little toggle switch here and change the driving mode from comfort into sport, suddenly this thing's got more grunt than an angry sheepdog. It growls. Oh, it's got a noise generator built in as well. It wants to be driven hard. Supposedly, you'd never know right now because it's behaving itself so well. At least one of us is. Now, I'm not a big fan of noise generators because they can sound a bit PlayStation-esque. This one's pretty good. It doesn't emulate like a real engine. It's not trying to be something it's not. It's not laying it on too thick. But it does sound good. It does make the hairs on your arm stick up a little bit. Everything about this car is designed to elicit an emotion. And you don't get that in a lot of cars. Ooh, this wants to move. Grow up, Gavin, grow up. In Auckland Central though, like, it doesn't seem out of place. I know you might be thinking, oh, G-Wagen, that's just a poser's car. You'll never ever see anyone driving one. I saw 2 on the way to pick this thing up. So people are buying them. Although at this price, I don't imagine many are gonna buy them. So this is always gonna be a bit of an exclusive car. But here in Auckland, it does not look out of place. And speaking of which, let's move on to design. And Mercedes have sort of hamstrung themselves a little bit because they have to keep it looking like a G-Wagen. Let's face it, this is not a great shape for aerodynamics. It's not a great shape for an electric vehicle, which relies on efficiency and sleekiness. It's, typically got to be more sleek than a buttered marine mammal. But somehow they've managed to get a reasonable amount of range and that authentic G-Wagen feel out of one that runs on batteries. They've done all right. It's very different to the Audi S6 Avant e-tron I had this morning. I dropped that off, then I picked this up. So I had to get back from left-hand drive to right-hand drive, large station wagon to enormous cube. It's taking a little bit of getting used to. And that's the thing, this cube is ultimately a giant German Borg cube. Das ist eine deutsche Cuban. Okay, nope. Clearly I don't speak German. It's a long way from the original G-Wagen back in 1979. The first one they rolled out of this car was militaristic. It was a military vehicle. But then a funny thing happened. In the 1980s and 90s, people with money started buying the G-Wagen. And Mercedes realized that, well, more and more people with money are using these as status symbols. So maybe we should start beefing it up a bit, offering it with luxuries, putting bigger tires in it, make it more powerful. And the G-Wagen was born. It's now morphed from a military vehicle into, well, a bit of a performance car. This is the car of footballers and movie stars. And now I'm driving one, which can't be doing anything for this vehicle's image. I mean, look at the grille. It's a monstrous thing. On a car today, in an electric car especially, a big grille's just not necessary. Electric cars don't need big grilles, but they've got to keep it because it's a G-Wagen. And the result is that this thing looks like it could run on plankton. It could be the ultimate eco-friendly car. The blue accents around the car denote the fact that it's the G580, the electric version. It's getting warm in here. Hang on, let's use some gadgetry. Hi, Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Lower the cabin temperature.
I'm reducing the temperature to 17.5 degrees.
Actually, it's got a little bit of AI quirkiness. The woman hiding inside the dashboard. She'll actually give you a little bit of personality. For example, hi Mercedes. Oh, for God's sake, I'm getting the silent treatment from the car. Every other Mercedes I've done, she'll say something like, all the better for hearing your voice. But not this one. She's giving me the silent treatment. I'm sorry, we're going to start the day with a fight, are we? All right, okay, fine. More about design though. This one also has the 20-inch wheels that come with the car. Are they black? Or are they white? I forgot. I'm going to pull over for a second, just check my wheels. Oh, they're black. Oh, good. All right, back to design though, and let's talk wheels. And this one comes with 20-inch wheels, which look like they mean business. In fact, this particular one has the black wheels, which is an extra $3,800 for those black wheels. And I've got to say, I'm not sure that's money well spent because, I mean, it's not 2001 anymore. Black wheels are all a bit overdone. And that's another thing I should point out. When it comes to Mercedes paint and design, you have options. This is what I love about Mercedes, maybe a little too many options, but you can have no fewer than 29 different paint color combos for your G-Wagen. 29 glorious hues. Some of them very, very un-Mercedes colors as well. Altogether though, this thing is big, it's square, it's powerful, it's luxurious, it's in a lot of ways like the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, but unlike that giant grocery hearse, this has got much more of a tougher image. This is the image when you want to show up and show off. Although that Rolls-Royce Cullinan does seem like it has more room in the back. Let's move on to interior design now. Speaking of which, you can get this not only in blackish, grayish combo, but you can also get the interior in both beige, I love that, or, wait till you hear this, I'm freaking in love with this, man, brown. You can get an actual brown leather interior. Yes! And last, of course, is the lighting for the interior. It's all fully customizable, and at night, this thing really pops. Both with the exterior lighting and, of course, with this fantastic interior lighting. What's it like on the speed bumps? Okay, it's clear that this thing weighs 3 tons. I didn't notice any lateral wobble, but there is a lot of inertia behind it. I wonder what this thing's gonna be like on the corners. We've got to find that out very, very soon. What about interior space though, you might be asking? It's a big boxy car from the outside. Does that translate to the inside? And from the driver's seat, yes. If you are, like me, 178 centimeters, or in Roman Catholic, that is 5'10", exactly the same height as Jason Statham, you might be surprised to know, who became well known for driving a Mercedes W140 at speed in the Transporter. Well, regardless, if you are Jason Statham, you'll be happy to know that you can fit in here. Look at the headroom above my head. Good Lord. Far out. And there's the sunroof there as well, even more headroom. Plus legroom. Like, I've got the seat, when I got in, the seat was all the way back. I couldn't even touch the pedal. So yeah, Jason, you'll be fine driving this. The back, slightly different story. It's not small, like you've got loads of headroom back there, but the legroom, it's good. I mean, it's big, but it's not as big as I thought it was gonna be. The boot also is not as big as I thought it was. It's decent. And when you say you want more room, you want to drop those seats down, you do get more room, and the seats do fold down in an interesting way. But it's still not a massive cavernous space, at least in terms of length. It's not a super long car, but it is, oh crikey, we're off. But it does have a lot of room, like headroom. So what length it doesn't have in the boot, it makes up for, surely, just in pure, hello bus, but sure, it makes up for, oh man, look at the diesel smoke pouring out of that bus. On the subject of storage though, if you look at the back, you might think that that big square box on the back is actually a spare tire cover. No, it's too small for a spare tire. That is what's called a design box. drawbacks. You know, they've given it a fancy name. It's basically just a little housing box there for your charging cables or maybe some potatoes or something. But it's there. You can, however, spend a little bit of extra money and get a proper full-size spare tyre on the back. That, I don't have the pricing on that because it's still in the works, but that will be an option. But let's say you want more. Well, if you were to go up to the front of this vehicle, pop the bonnet, you will find nothing but electronic gizmos. No, there's no storage up there. There's no fartment or front compartment. If you've got potatoes you need to transport, you've got to stick them in the storage box. Let's move on to gadgets now, which is a fun segment. I mean, come on, like all guys, we love toys, right? The only difference between men and boys is the price of the toys. And, well, this is a big expensive toy. You won't be disappointed, starting with what's right in front of us. We've got two 12.3-inch displays in front of us. This one is the instrument cluster. As you can see, it's got all the useful information you want. You can change the design of the instrument cluster, of course. Move on to the central display. This is touchscreen, again 12.3 inches, and it's got everything from the built-in map system, which is quite good, to the user experience. You can log your phone and you connect your phone. You've got apps that you can load onto the car. It's starting to get a little bit better. Mercedes-Benz user interface has always been a little bit sterile. Like, why would you want to watch videos, yeah, in your Mercedes? But now you can. It's not all puppies and rainbows, whatever that is in German. This car does have some flaws. First of all, the steering wheel. I don't like the steering wheel. It's got a capacitive touch steering wheel, which, like some cars, like Audi, it's also got capacitive touch steering wheels, but those ones actually work. These ones, a little bit, well, like I've said in an earlier video, it's like talking to a cat. You know, cats, sometimes it'll surprise you, it'll respond, and it'll do exactly what you ask. But most of the time, cats just do their own thing. You'll press a button for the volume control or to change the track on the stereo, and it'll ignore you. Or it'll leap 2 tracks ahead. It's horrible. It does also have, though, a sunroof, as I mentioned earlier, although it's not a big sunroof. There's a large roof area, and that sunroof is actually kind of small. You can still stand up in it and pretend maybe you're Dark Helmet trying to comb the desert, but for all intents and purposes, it is a bit useless. More gadgets though, this one has the Burmester sound system. It is a phenomenal sound system. I've heard it before, and the sound that comes out of those speakers is so rich, it feels like it's got an offshore trading account. It'll make whatever Generation X playlist you like, it'll make it sound like it's live. It's also got an air scrubber, an air ionizer, which sounds like something out of Star Trek. Keep your air nice and clean, keep all those particulates heavier than air. I think that's what an air ionizer does, makes them fall down, negatively charges the ions. But it's also got the G-Roar. This is the fake sound I alluded to earlier, which, when you're just idling, it just sounds like an engine sort of burbling along, but without all the downsides. It's got all the benefits of a combustion engine. Well, are there any? It's a weird, bad thing to say. It's got all of the personality of a combustion engine, but without all the negatives, the cost and the fumes and the shortened lives of your children and all that stuff. Like, knowing what you do now about how bad combustion is for both you, me, the environment, all that, you'd have to be a little bit odd to buy a new combustion vehicle. And that is one of the great things about electric cars, is that you can control where your fuel comes from. Like, I plug all my EVs that I'm reviewing, I plug them in at home, and I'm running on Ecotricity's renewable electricity. It's climate positive. In fact, it's the only certified climate positive electricity provider New Zealand's got. So that means every electron that Ecotricity provides to you is sourced only from wind, hydro and solar. Nothing else. No dirty coal or expensive gas or any of that imported carcinogen stuff. Sign up at ecotricity.co.nz, and while you're at it, get solar on your roof. Like, if you're going to get an EV, you got to get solar. It just means that you can charge a car like this for free. Free! A G-Wagen filled up with its 116 kilowatt hour battery pack for free! Okay, maybe that's why I love electric so much. I'm a tight one. Back to gadgets though, of course it's got wireless phone charging. It is located right here, in a bit of an odd spot right at the front there. Not the worst location I've seen yet, but it is a little odd. It's also got cup holders built in here as well. Oh look, it's got illumination there. Oh my god, are you serious? Is that a drink warmer? It's a drink cooler! What? This wasn't in the brochure. Maybe it was, I just didn't see it. Oh, I love this. Oh, that's getting really cold. I've never seen this before in a car. All right, come back down to earth, Gavin. Of course, it also has robot and fruit, and both are wireless, as you would expect. Plus, in its built-in map system, it's got augmented reality. So arrows will appear over the image of the road you're supposed to turn in. So it just sort of takes all the thinking out of it. Although it doesn't have a heads-up display. I sort of expected that, but heads-up display needs a little bit of room, and this is, let's face it, this is a very tight dashboard. That windscreen, normally cars now, the windscreen slides back like this. This one's very, very unaerodynamic. Actually, it does have a couple of aerodynamic tweaks. The top of the roofline in the normal G-Wagen, that is just a gutter. But in this case, they've put a little filler over the top there. And the result is that it just gives it a little bit more range and no wind noise. That is all the good, right? There is some bad, and we need to talk about the elephant in the room. And das Elefant is the fact that this thing cannot tow anything. It may be a super strong, tough vehicle, but it can't pull the skin off custard. It cannot tow. And that's not because it's not strong enough. It's just because it's too heavy. Because at 3,085 kilos, if you were to load this car up with, say, 4 burly blokes and all their luggage, you'd be getting dangerously close to the legal limit of what this car can be as a car, which means you have to recertify, you have to get a certificate of fitness every 6 months, and you're limited to 90 kilometers an hour. It basically means that this is just a giant high-performance show pony, but what a show pony. Oh, and look at that weather. It's also got flappy paddles, which control the regen braking. So I'm going to set it to maximum. Okay, and I'm going to take my foot off the accelerator. Will it bring me to a complete stop? Oh, it's quite heavy, but ultimately no. It's got creep mode. I wonder if you can turn that off. Okay, I'll put on screen yes or no. Not only is it very torquey though, it's also quite good off-road. Basically, it's got a wading depth of 85 centimeters. Now that's 6 inches more than the combustion version. And this has no snorkels or anything. That's the beauty of electric. It doesn't need air. That's why the Lunar rover wasn't a diesel vehicle. It wasn't petrol. It was electric, because electric just works. But I want to get out of the city now. I want to get on the motorway and see what this thing's like in terms of long distance driving and efficiency. I also want to use that to tell you all about this car's off-roading ability, because I promise you, I know what you're thinking, this thing's never going to go off-road, it's incapable. I promise you, it will impress you. Well, getting on the motorway hasn't exactly gone according to plan. This is Auckland and it is raining, so we are crawling along, but that's okay. This gives me a great chance to use all the B-roll footage I've got when I was at the Mercedes launch of this vehicle. And this is going to transport you to a sunnier, happier time. Basically, they put us in these vehicles and we went on an off-road course. Traffic's thinned out a bit and I've got the level 2 autonomous driving running, and it's doing a brilliant job considering that it's blowing a gale right now. It's correcting the changes constantly. It's only once got a little close to the line. I would say in terms of comparing it to like Tesla's autopilot, this is very, very close, maybe even on par, as you'd expect it to be for $231,000. But how loud is it on coarse chip roads? Well, let's go find a slice and I'll tell you. Wait for it. Actually, that's not bad. We're on a coarse chip road right now, doing 100 k's an hour. Actually, that's pretty good. I thought it was going to be much louder. All right, that surprised me. One other thing, the roads down here are dry. I want to see if the acceleration can surprise me. 4.7 seconds, 0 to 100. Let me go find an empty slice of road and see how grunty it really feels. All right, let's do it. The road is about to get wet. This could be our only chance. I'm on an empty slice of road in the middle of nowhere. Let's do a 0 to 100 test. All right, 1164 talking Isaacs. Let's give it a go. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, the mass! Oh, we're up! Far out, that was fun. Pointless, but fun. Okay, that's impressive, but not brutal. I think the most impressive thing for me is the fact that it's 3.1 almost tons moving up to 100 k's an hour in 5 seconds or so. That alone is incredible. But on top secret driving roads just over there, it would be a sin not to try it. Let's just give it a little try before the roads get wet. Then we'll go back to proper actual car reviewing. All right, let's find out. I'm on my top secret road. Unfortunately, the rain has arrived, so the roads are a bit greasy, so I won't do anything silly, but I do want to get a feel for what the power delivery is like. And of course, when you take your foot off the brake, is that regen braking instant? It's cranked up to maximum right now. Oh, yes. Yes, there's no delay, because sometimes, you know, when you take your foot off the gas, it's like it's being delivered by a carrier pigeon, but not this case, in this case. I wouldn't say it is the most nimble vehicle I've ever driven, because it is 3 tons and it's a taller vehicle, but its center of gravity is still relatively low, and its adaptive adjustable suspension is constantly changing to make sure it doesn't have too much body roll. Gosh, it is surreal to be driving a car this big and this heavy, this nimbly round corners, like 45 k's an hour. I'm guessing the front wheels will slip if I put my foot down. No, it spreads the power out evenly. But I have much more to cover just yet. Yes, this car is great in the city. Yes, this car is brilliant off-road. But what's it like on a road trip? What's the charging speed like? Of course, how many potatoes can you fit in the dashboard? That and much more, and a list of things I don't like about it, is coming up right now in the Spud Score. Starting with performance, and for its size, it's incredible 8 out of 10 spuds. Handling's next, and again, for its mass, it almost defies physics, 8 out of 10 once again. As for comfort, it weighs the same as Jupiter and has more padding than a YouTube how-to video, making it sublimely comfy, 8 out of 10 again. Let's talk efficiency now, and this is where the metaphorical wheels fall off this office block, because real-world Kiwi driving will get you only around 350 k's per charge, so 5 spuds there. Gadgetry's next, and whatever you want, it's got it. Even the cup holders heat up liquid, although as I found out, it does take a while. Basically, this car has everything excluding vehicle to load and a heads-up display, so 8 spuds. But is it good value? Well, have a guess. I'll give you a clue. It's a short, efficient word that starts with N and ends with O. Only 3 potatoes earned for value. As for charging speed, it's decent. I used one of ChargeNet's hyper-rapid chargers to take the car from 33% to 80%, and its speed was quite good, but the battery is huge, which means that it's going to take about 30 minutes to rapid charge this on one of these chargers, so 7 spuds there. But what about style? Well, it's subjective, and secretly I kind of wanted to dislike it, but because it's such a head turner, my narcissist gland won the battle, and I started to really like its imposing, authoritarian, lovable dictator vibes, so I'm giving it 7 spuds. But is it fit for purpose? Well, no, not if you want to tow anything, and the doors will never ever close the first time you try. I mean, never. It will drive you mad. But for street cred and off-roading cred, you'll be hard-pressed to find another vehicle with the same imposing vibe. It's a predator, it's a bully, and a head-turning argument settler, and if that's its purpose, then it gets 7 spuds. But it's the PSC which will influence your purchasing decision, and despite its smaller storage, it holds no fewer than 61 potatoes, which is just above average for Mercedes-Benz, so I'm giving it 7 spuds, which gives the Mercedes G580 a total spud score of 68. And there you have it. That is the guts of this. The Mercedes G580, the electric G-Wagon, and don't let the price or its looks or potato storage capacity deceive you. This thing is very capable, both on-road and off-road, as you have now seen. And if you are perhaps Jason Statham, outrunning bad guys, then this might just be the car you want to do it in.